Hey everybody, so it has been a while since I've posted another video, and I'm sorry about that, guys. It's been kind of a dry spell with content lately, just due to there's not really. Usually, I base all of my talks and stuff around like future like meta and events and things like that. And I think a lot of card game creators are just having trouble right now with what to do because we're getting new cards, but we're not really doing anything with them except collecting them and building decks and playing in our own little groups. And that makes it hard sometimes to know exactly what to talk about. However, I am starting to put some ideas together, and it is starting to be a little better. But so I'm hopefully we'll get some new content out here soon. So anyway, guys, this is going to be a video where I talk basically about a bunch of things because there's a lot of things that have happened and things that I want to talk about. If you have further questions about those kinds of things, you can always message me in our Telegram group, which I'll talk more about here at the end, and you can always comment, and I do my best to reply to everybody. So the first thing I want to talk about is, I think it has to be nearly 2 months now, if not, or at least around there, where Bushiroad announced that Vanguard would be going through basically another reboot. And I was watching the stream, and I had a lot of feelings about it when I saw it. The first thing that came to mind was, like, we just went through this not too long ago, and now we have the standard format. I mean, I will admit this. I think the imaginary gifts got out of hand, and I think the problem was Excel was a lot stronger than what people originally thought it would be, and then they had to create these force clans that were just so OP, like Luard, who can get 3 force markers on his first grade 3 ride, and they realized they had to do this just so there was another deck out there that could keep up with the speed of like Narukami and these other rush decks like Gold Paladin, who would just abuse Excel and have like 7 or 8 attackers, and your opponent could just be sitting there with nothing. So I do think it was necessary. Looking back on it, it was just a bunch of frustration because at the time it's like we're going through another reboot. But I do applaud them for realizing the flaw early, and I really think they're going to get the formula right this time. So let's go into a couple of the things that we're gonna. So the first thing that really was a big, like, almost deal breaker for me, and I was really pissed about it. No more clans. We're not gonna have clans anymore. So Kagero, Narukami, Royal Paladin, Aquaforce, Great Nature. There's no such thing anymore. And it's a little disheartening, and it's a pretty big change because Vanguard, ever since it came into existence, here in period actually, it's always been a game where you build a deck based on a clan, and you build cards, and you use cards from that clan to create it. But then now they've decided, well, instead of having like Kagero, Narukami, Tachikaze, Nubatama, and Murakumo, thank you, that they're going to take all those clans and they're just going to shove them together, and they're going to create a new nation. And basically every nation got a rename except the Dragon Empire, and I'm thankful for that because I do like that name. So basically, you're now going to build decks based on nations. This leads me for a lot of questions. The main one, and I thought about this today, and I wonder if anyone else has thought of it. You know, when you go to a Team League event, you have a team of 3, right? Each player must be playing a different clan. So that's how it was the last time they did Team League. So now does that mean each person is going to need to be playing a different nation? That'll be definitely something I think that will be interesting if they choose to do that. It leads me to believe that that's what it's going to be. So all the clans get used, which means all the cards will be in demand. So there's that. And then And guys, I'm having to pull up my list here again. The next thing that they talked about, and this was a big one, and this is where I started to sway back over to, okay, maybe this is a good thing, the ride deck. Now, the ride deck is going to basically be a set of cards that are set to the side that you can use to ride into if you don't have the proper grade. So if you don't have a grade 2, you discard a card, you take that card and ride it. This is, I think, really, really good for the game. Vanguard, for the longest time, and will still be to a certain extent, is a game where it can literally change at the check of a trigger. And what this does is it protects you from the most annoying way to lose in this game, and that is being grade stuck. Now, you might be saying, well, they had the G assist thing where you looked at the top 5, and if you saw the proper grade, you added it, and then you bind 2 out of your hand. The only problem with that is 90% of the time, whenever you G assist, you're going to lose simply from the minus of cards unless you have a deck that can literally recover that really quickly, or you just trigger sack, which does happen in this game. So I think this is a good thing in the long run, because we're not going to have games where you're sitting there playing with someone and you're ready for a good game, you both flip over your starters, you ride your grade 1, you pass, and your opponent draws, and they have that look on their face, the same look that you get when you got an F on a test in school, and you're like, well, fuck. I swing with my grade 0, they might trigger you, they may not, and then you ride grade 2, and then you kind of swarm them because it's easy, and then they draw again, and they still don't have their grade 1, and then they just get mad and depressed, and sometimes they just scoop. And I always felt for my opponents when this happened to them in tournaments. I know we, as players, we selfishly and in all fairness, to our opponent, we're thankful that we get an easy win. But I don't like winning that way in the same time, because that's just not a fun environment to play in, where literally, I couldn't play because I literally didn't draw, the right grade. So I do appreciate the fact that Bushiroad is trying to take that out of the game. I think what this is going to do, it's actually going to create a more friendly environment, and it's going to take away one of the biggest downfalls of this game, where if you just got grade stuck, you were just fucked, as in now, where if you take that out of the equation, you're correcting it, and you have a guaranteed ride if you don't draw into it. Now, this could lead into certain cards that have like Vanguard effects on, say, grade 1 or 2. It might cause their price to go up because you'll be guaranteed to ride them by simply adding them into the ride deck. But I think the pros outweigh the cons here, so I'm not going to complain too hard about this. Now, the other thing is, in every booster set, there's going to be support for all the nations, and this is a big one. And this right here is where it won me over. Because let me explain something to you. I have teammates in Sam and Christian. Christian, who his main clan for the longest time has been Dimensional Police, and Sam, who's for the longest time has been playing Great Nature, and sometimes Aquaforce. Well, I'm over here playing Kagero, and we get support every 6 months, and we get a new Overlord that gets more broken abilities, and he gets to restand multiple times, and, I get great support units and such like that. I played Gear Chronicle at a time, and don't get me started how broke they originally made Gear Chronicle, and then I played Shadow Paladin for a time, I don't play clans because they're broke. I play clans because I like them. I like dragons, so I played Kagero. I really just loved the dark Shadow Paladin art style. I mean, look at me, guys. So, I mean, I gravitated towards Shadow Paladin. So I really don't see, a lot of people, they tend to hate on people who play the more popular clans, and they say that, well, you're just a meta player. Like, no, those are the clans that I loved playing the most. Because Guys, I played Kagero on day one. I think it was set 4, the original set 4, when Blaster Dart came out with the Fenrir and Blaster Javelin and all that. I played that Shadow Paladin deck, and it was terrible on drop. It was just not as good as what else was out there at the time. So I've been there since day one, and you know, at the end of the day, I just play what I like. So I really am glad to see that now everybody is going to get in on the sport. Some booster sets might favor other nations more, but the fact that you're going to get support in every set, in the long run, is good for the game for a lot of reasons. One, it means that every player is invested in the set, which means card prices for Bushiroad they'll actually be able to maintain a good source of income, which is good because, as players of the game, we want the game to continue and move forward. So the more that we're investing in the sets and the cards, the more likely that will continue. So it's good from both a player standpoint and a business standpoint. It's good from a meta standpoint because now you can play any nation and you're going to get support every 3 to 4 months, and that's really nice. We're going to get trial decks for all the nations at drop, and I'll be doing reviews on each of the trial decks. I will be buying, all of them. I think this is actually going to be the best move that Bushiroad has done for Vanguard in general, and I'm very excited for it. Good for them for doing this. I think in the end, players who still aren't on board will get on board once they kind of see it. I'm not going to really go into the overdress mechanic and all that because that would be its own video. If you guys want me to talk about the overdress mechanic, let me know and I'll do it. But I'm keeping up with all the news. I'm assuming some of you are too. If you would like to hear my spin and thoughts on it, let me know and I will make a video for you. And now there's going to be 3 different formats. There's going to be the original format, there's going to be the V format, and then there's going to be the overdress format. I don't know if that is the exact names of them, but there's going to be 3 different formats, which it'll be interesting to see how that works on tournaments, seeing as how, and I never made a video on it, and honestly it was because I was really upset about it, but not for the reasons you might think. Buddy Fight was usually on Sunday, and that's also usually when they did Vanguard Premium, assuming that's what they're still going to do. But now, since Buddy Fight is no longer a thing, one of those, I assume they're going to do Premium and maybe V on Sunday, and then they'll do the Overdress on Saturday. But I have no way of knowing that. I guess we'll have to wait. But anywho, real quickly, if you're wondering, I was mad Buddy Fight got canceled, but I was mad because the game literally dug its own grave. Guys, the Time Dragons, if you looked into them when they were being announced, they were next level broke. They had no check except a mirror match, and that's not good. I think Bushiroad really screwed themselves. And I think that's bad because I think Buddy Fight was a very, very successful, fun game for its time. It just got to a point where it power crept itself so hard that you either played meta or you weren't going to get to play because the other decks would just come in and run right smack over you and you had nothing to do. So that's not a good, that's not good. If look at what happened with Yu-Gi-Oh! In the Pepe Clown format when they had to institute an emergency ban list for only the 2nd time. It's not fun for a tier 0 deck to exist because it's so overpowered. So I am sad Buddy Fight is gone. I had a lot of good memories playing it. I'm gonna remember all the fun times at tournaments, watching the anime. And I'm always I still have all my cards, and I'm gonna keep them, and I'm gonna keep those memories. But I'm going to hold out faith that maybe after COVID, maybe there'll be maybe a reboot for Buddy Fight someday. I have no way of knowing if that is the case or if that's even in the realm of possibility, but I'm going to hope. So I guess we'll see. But I did make a video on it, some people asked me privately about it, and I was very upset for about 2 weeks, and I was very angry. But then I started thinking, okay, why did they do this? And it was pretty obvious. So Buddy Fight's gone. It was a fun 6 years, I think it was, in existence, and I'll always. It was one of the best games I've ever played, and one of the most memorable too. So I'm hopeful that we'll see Buddy Fight in some way someday soon in the future. If not, it was a lot of fun while we had it. Now, another question that I've been getting quite frequently, and I'm going to address it now, is, since I haven't made content in a while, is will I be covering Digimon, the Digimon card game? Well, does that answer your question? Yeah, I will be doing Digimon content since Buddy Fight is no longer a thing. I will be honest, guys. I really am excited about Digimon, and I think it came around the right time because I've been playing 2 card games for so long. So it's nice that, and the game is a lot of fun. I think it has potential to finally be successful. If you get that, then I love you. Because this is literally their 3rd shot, and I think they finally nailed it. The game's easy to understand. It's fun. So we'll see where this goes, but I really have faith that they finally have a good system in place to make this successful. And it's clearly popular because no matter where you go, that sells cards, they don't have the booster packs, they don't have the start decks. The start decks on eBay are selling for as high as like $40 because Bandai had problems with getting supplies out due to the pandemic, and we understand it's frustrating. I have trial decks ordered. I ordered them from someone who's going to be getting another shipment this month. I ordered them way back in January. I am still waiting for them. When they come in, I will be doing a review on all 3 of them. The red one, the yellow one, and the blue one. So you'll have those to look forward to. I am going to do Digimon content, so if you have ideas, let me know. So you can look forward to seeing future Digimon content from me. So, and then let's see, what next do I want to talk about? The next question that I've been getting is tournament statuses. And the answer to that is we don't know. They still haven't really said anything, and that's literally, I think, because now with the vaccine being available and everything, and they're kind of waiting to see how this is going to affect the pandemic, if it's going to bring everybody the alert down a little bit, maybe start loosening up on restrictions. I think they're waiting for that. I am going to still go to tournaments, guys. Because of the pandemic, I'm not going to quit, but I really don't have any updates as far as that goes because I don't have any information. I asked, some of my teammates this morning if they'd heard anything. They haven't. We're kind of just waiting at this point. As soon as we have information for a tournament, since obviously I'm going to be covering Digimon content, you can assume that I'll be going to a Bandai event, which honestly I'm also excited to see how Bandai will run a tournament, honestly. The next tournament that I go to, I will let you guys know way in advance, so if any of you are going, you'll know that I'm going, and who knows, maybe we can hang out, because God knows it has been forever, and I really want to go back to a tournament soon, guys. For anybody who has been to as many events as I have, and as my teammates have been, it is a fun environment, and it is very hard to be away from it as long as we have been. So Everybody stay strong. We're going to get through this. Tournaments will be held again, and we will have fun, and we will have ourselves the biggest party ever when we get to it. Just continue to stay safe and follow the proper guidelines of how to protect yourself, your loved ones, and friends, please. And then finally, I want to talk about our Telegram group. Now, we have a Telegram group on, obviously, Telegram. You can go on and add yourself into the group. You just search Shinaki's Friends, and you will instantly be added to the group. Once we get up to I really would like, if you're subscribed to the channel, please just go funnel yourself in there. Even if you only partake in the chat briefly, certain amount of times, that's fine. It's not something that I want, that I'm saying that I only want people who are going to be on it every minute of every day are going to be. I want to do this so there's a way that I can communicate with all of you instantly, and this will be a way for me to do contests for you guys. Once we get up to 50 members in the group, I'm going to do a contest of some kind with a prize giveaway. I haven't done a prize giveaway in like 3-4 years, and I really want to do that again. So please, if you have not added yourself, go to Telegram, create yourself a group. It's a profile. It takes like 2 minutes, and then add yourself to the group Shinaki's Friends. And then let me know that you're there. So please come hang out with us. We talk occasionally. It's a pretty cool group of guys right now. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for staying patient with me and waiting for new content. I'm very grateful for you guys. Continue to reach out to me and send me messages. Telegram is the easiest way to get a hold of me. So if you're ever wanting to talk to me directly, that's also your easiest way. And you can download the app on your phone for free, or you can create a online account with your PC or laptop for literally, it doesn't cost you a thing. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for checking this out, and be sure to look out for future content. Hope you're all doing very well and staying safe, and I'll talk to you later.